'twas the time of the preacher.
I used to be such a nice guy.
Well, for a man that don't go healed, you run your mouth kind of reckless, don't you?
It's a little too early for being that loud. Hey, too late.
What an incredible Cinderella story. This unknown comes out of nowhere.
I guess I'm the only one that remains unaffiliated.
Welcome to the 4-1 podcast, where for 4 minutes, we tackle one topic. Let's talk about storytelling. Telling stories is a very important part of life. It's how we connect with other people and share our experiences. And all of us have stories to tell. Things that happen to us in the course of a day, people we encounter, amazing things that maybe we see. Sometimes they're even just mundane things that we long to share with another. That's part of the human experience. We want to connect and share the things that we're encountering. And storytelling is important. So first of all, I want to encourage you, tell stories. What's happening? Share those things with other people. But then there are also other stories, kind of bigger stories, a greater narrative, if you will. The stories that really kind of define who we are as a people or even as a person. Those stories are the stories that we tell again and again. Oftentimes within a family, you'll have stories that are just like a part of the family lore. They get passed down. You get to around the dinner table or at a party and somebody will say, "Hey Dad, tell that story about that one time." Or, "Hey, tell that story about when I was a kid." And the stories are shared again. And you know what's great about those stories is they get better with age. That's kind of the neat thing about a story. The more you tell it, the better you get at telling the story. So with our stories, as we share them, one thing I would encourage you with is practice them. Share them with people and watch their reaction. Look for places where they kind of get interested, where they, "Ooh, tell me more about that." Look for places where maybe they look a little confused, like, "Oh, what's that about?" And gauge reaction as you share a story. The other thing in sharing a story is details matter. They do. They absolutely matter. So for instance, if you're telling a story, and it starts off something like this, this time in my life, it was such an important time. It was really crucial for me, in my development. I think I was somewhere like around, 7, 6, 8, somewhere in there. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I was like in the 2nd or 3rd grade. It was my favorite teacher of all time. I can't remember her name. It's like Mrs. I don't know. Okay, you've lost me. You've lost everyone. This story is not important to you. You remember really nothing about it. And so, these details, they matter because they help people connect to the story. Now, I'm never a proponent of lying. If you make up a story, sometimes stories are made up. But just say, "Hey, this story's made up." Don't tell it like it's true or real, like it really happened to you if it happened to somebody else. But when you tell a story, the details matter. So if you're not sure if you were 6, 7, or 8, just pick a number. When I was 7. That's great. Just pick a number. I was 7. Because now other people are like, "I remember when I was 7, what that was like." I was in the 2nd grade, and my teacher was Mrs. Hines. Well, now you've given people something they can connect to. I was 7, 2nd grade. Oh, I remember my 2nd grade school. Oh, I remember my 2nd grade teacher. Oh, I didn't have Miss Hines. I had Miss Henderson. People are connecting with those things. And so details in a story matter. And so when you share your story, use details and allow people to connect with you. Now, I want you to think about what your greatest stories are and how you can practice sharing those with others. It'll help you as you pray for one, not only connect with people and build relationships with them, but ultimately your greatest story is your story about your journey with God. Surely you have some amazing things to share about that, things He's done in your life, things that He's revealed to you and shown you. Practice telling those stories and use details. And you know what? The more you share the story, the better it will get. And the more people will resonate with it, and it'll help them connect to God too. Keep praying for one and share your story. The end.